Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing today? Today is Teachable Tuesday, and so what we're doing on our website or on our YouTube channel now is actually going through each day, having a theme, and making sure that if you're interested in something, you know when to tune in. So today's Teachable Tuesday, and I want to ask the question, or I want to actually share with you a lot of questions that I get about beneficiaries on your IRAs. Did you know you have beneficiaries on your IRA, or do you even know how that works? Well, I want to cover that today. Here's the thing, if you've opened an IRA, Roth IRA, or maybe another type of retirement account, you can add beneficiaries. Now what happens here is, in the event of your passing, the IRA, Roth, whatever it is, just moves on to the beneficiary on your account. Now this helps avoid your will, probate, any estate problems that you may have. The IRA just goes right onto your beneficiary. Most of the time it's a spouse or a family member, but I do get a lot of questions about this, so let's cover some of them now. When new clients open up accounts at Jazz Wealth, on the form, they're asked who would they like to specify as a beneficiary. And then about once every 3 months, we'll remind you to update that or change it if you're looking to put somebody else in there. I know sometimes you like somebody and then next time you don't like somebody, so we like to remind you who your beneficiaries are and ask you to change them. Well, the first question I get all the time is, who can I name as a beneficiary? And the answer is pretty much anybody. You can put anybody down there that you like, as long as you have their full name, their date of birth, and their social security number. That's all we need. You can also have multiple beneficiaries if you decide that you'd like to split it up. As long as the total amount equals, total percentage equals 100%, you could have 50% go to someone, 50% go to someone else, and that would take care of it. Now the question I get a lot is, what happens if I list my spouse as a beneficiary and both of us go, say, skydiving and both of our parachutes don't open? Then what happens? Now my beneficiary was my wife. What happens after that? Well, you can actually put something called a backup beneficiary, and that's if you just want to take the time to do it. So in the event you don't have your parachute open, your spouse is your beneficiary, their parachute doesn't open, we all know what happens next, then you can have a backup. And again, that can be anybody as long as you have their name, date of birth, social security number, and you're able to specify how much of your IRA would you like to go to them. Well, take a minute and add a backup beneficiary. Hopefully nothing bad happens, but it's nice to know that there's a backup on your plan as well. Now that leads us to our next question. What happens if I never name somebody as a beneficiary to my IRA? Well, most of the time it just passes on to your spouse, although it's not that easy, right? If the spouse's name was on there, piece of cake, it's easy to transfer. Most of the time it would go on to your spouse. If you do not have a spouse or nobody can be located, then typically the funds are paid to your estate. That can be a headache, that can take a long time. So again, take a moment, put anybody down, put your favorite charity down, do something just so somebody gets this should something bad happen to you. All right, so here's another question. I'm married, but what happens if I don't list my spouse and I want to list somebody else? Look, I work with a lot of people. You would imagine some of the questions that I get. If you're married and you open an IRA or have an IRA and you don't list your spouse, that's one thing. But if you intentionally go to list somebody else, see, the law is that you need your spouse's approval to name someone else as a beneficiary if you're not going to pick them. Now, if you still choose not to tell your spouse and you do this, I can't stop you, but I can't help you either. You're going to need a lawyer at that point. So think twice about this. Your spouse is supposed to be the beneficiary. If you don't want to do that, we need to get their approval before we list somebody else. And the final question I get is, how many beneficiaries can I have, whether they're primary or backup beneficiaries? And the answer is really, there's an unlimited number. You can kind of put all your family, anybody, you could maybe have 8, 10, 12. There's really no limited number. The thing is that the percentage that each person gets, all of that has to total 100. So as long as you do that, really you can just keep adding beneficiaries as much as you like. Well, I hope you liked that video, and if so, then there may be another one up there that you're interested in. If you're thinking of opening or transferring a retirement account from somewhere else, click our logo over here and that'll take you to our website to get started, or you can then click Chat with Jazz, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon.